discretion is advised. Also, I'd like to make a disclaimer that all this information is not from me, but I found it while researching this case, so I'm just putting it in video format.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode. So today we're going to talk about this young couple and what happened to them, and we're going to try possibly to look at what motive could have played into them ending that way. So we're going to look over the facts of the story, and I'm sure most of us know about this story. So today we're just going to look over the facts and really just try to keep the story alive, because I know most of us, just tend to look at things and push them at the back of our minds and not really be an active person in terms of finding justice. So we're going to look over the facts of the stories and two possible theories that the police are working on, and what you can do to help the families that are in seeking justice for this young couple. So today we're going to talk about Eric, Maina and Leila Truphena. Those were their names. Eric was said to be about 20 or 18. So between ages 18 and 20. Most reports don't really agree, but I've seen it's been reported that he's between the ages of 18 and 20. So as you can see, they were very young at that time. So Leila was 18. So Eric was an upcoming musician. Leila had started a YouTube channel, which was called Mlepos. Yeah, so some say it's like Mlepos is like Eric's name spelled backwards. I'm not so sure, but that's what we say to be their channel. So they had only posted like 2 videos before whatever happened. Only 2 videos. The first one was about just hanging out. Leila and Eric were just hanging out in the car. The second one was them just asking people what content they would like to see and asking people to subscribe. So
guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Karibuni sana, feel at home.
Welcome.
Yeah, tuko nyumbani.
Yeah, I go by the name Leila Mdiva.
No, mlepo hapa.
Ndio tunafanya.
So tumecreate channel. So hatujui tutafanyia nini, but we want you guys to advise us. So it's just our first video. Yeah, tunataka guys mtueleze tunafanya nini kwa hii channel.
Please guys. Help us. Yeah.
Sijika jaza kuona kwa kamera ama ni aje.
This is me evaporate.
Like
anyway,
guys.
Yeah, guys, I need you to put your hand there, subscribe, like and share. Please, it will cost you.
Yeah, it has cost too my smile.
Yeah.
Ndio juu smile utakuwa unaiona kila siku hapo ukisubscribe.
Yeah.
Ndio hatujui tutafanya, so tumesema guys, you can give us the comments up or down. Na usahau kuring hizo mabells. After subscribing hapo kuna bell hapo kando. Make sure unaifinya. And every time we get to post something, pia una get kucheki and be the first one to like.
They really hadn't posted a lot on that channel. So they were very young, and Eric was an upcoming musician, as I said, and Leila had started a YouTube channel, and They also had started a car wash business, and it was taking off. It was a very successful business, and they lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. Some reports say 1-bedroom apartment, but I think it's a 2-bedroom, so I'm going to say a 2-bedroom, right? So they were living in a 2-bedroom apartment. They were really successful. Eric was already driving a car, so definitely more successful than most of us when you're 18, because when you're 18, you can't even... I didn't even have a phone when I was 18, actually. So they lived they were very successful as young people, very successful. And also it is said that they had a relative abroad who was paying for the apartment and who was sending rent, and their upkeep or everyday lifestyle was funded by this relative who lived abroad. He was in Seychelles. I've seen it's reported that he was in Seychelles. So they say that most of the couple's money came from this outside financier from abroad. So that's what was said. So they were really successful. They were really having a happy life. The neighbors described them as being a friendly couple. They were very social because they had friends over all the time. You'd see them just streaming in and out. Their friends would come in. They were very outgoing. They liked music, okay? And I'm talking loud music, and maybe that could be annoying to some neighbors, but yeah, they liked music. They were at such a point in their life where they were happy and living life, just exploring and growing up and exploring their independence. They were starting, to start their lives, basically, as adults. So they were at that point in their lives. So let's get to the day the day that this happened. So some reports say it was Saturday 9 p.m. Some say it was Friday 9 p.m. So we really don't know whether it was Saturday or Friday. But I think, according to the timeline, possibly it was on a Friday night, but I'm not so sure. So I'm gonna say that evening, the last day Eric and Leila was seen alive, it was at 9 p.m. in the evening when they were getting into their apartment, and they were in the company of 2 men. So whether the 2 men were left or remained in the apartment is not clear, but people saw them with these 2 men, and they also went into the apartment, yeah? Nobody knows what went on in the apartment. The neighbors said that they heard screams during the night coming from the apartment, but they didn't call the police or even ask them whether everything was all right, which is odd. I mean, where I live, I have nosy neighbors. They're gonna ask what's going on if they hear screams, especially in an apartment which is maybe possibly quiet, or nobody ever talks, and then you hear screams. Definitely you're going to get concerned. But I totally understand. In Nairobi, you don't want to get into other people's business, so you're probably going to ignore it. So, which is fair enough. So they said that the screams died down as quickly as they were heard, and they didn't think much of it, so they just ignored it, which is understandable. You really don't want to get into anybody's business, so they just left it at that. The next morning, though, they noticed that their apartment was eerily quiet. They thought it odd because Eric and Leila usually play loud music every day, so that was unusual for them, but they didn't think much of it. So they just, went on with their busy day, but they noticed the apartment was just quiet. That definitely stands out, especially from someone who plays music all the time, every day, loudly, so that you can hear. And that day they just didn't play any music, so it definitely stood out to them. But everybody has their own business, so they just didn't pry into the matter any further. So in the evening is when they start noticing a smell, and they thought maybe it was garbage, so they overlooked it. But the next day it was everywhere. The smell was everywhere, all along the floor they were on. It was just everywhere, and they couldn't ignore it anymore. And they definitely knew something was off. So they alerted the landlord that possibly they should check the apartment to see what's going on in there. So at that time, Eric's relative had been trying to reach Eric for some time now, and his phone went unanswered, so the relative came to look for him, and he was alerted of the smell because he came looking for him. He was told of the smell by the neighbors and the landlord. He went to the apartment and found it locked with a padlock from the outside, but the smell really got to him, so he knew something was really wrong. How odd it was, how silent it was, and the smell, he knew something was definitely off. So he alerted the police, who forced their way into the apartment, and then it is then that they found Eric and Leila, and they found that they had passed away. They found Eric's body in the bedroom and Leila's body in the toilet. They were both bound with pieces of cloth and had been stabbed multiple times. The attack was really brutal, especially on Leila's body. It was really, really brutal. She was stabbed everywhere, which made some wonder possibly whether she was the target, compared to how she was brutally attacked and Eric's body. Eric was stabbed, yes, of course, but she was brutally stabbed. So it looked as if the person who did this had a personal, vendetta or something against Leila, but we don't know. Maybe, I don't know, I'm going to theorize here. Possibly Leila, they were both in the bedroom. This man attacked them, and maybe Leila tried to escape. Maybe that's why the attack on her was much more brutal than that of Eric. I'm not so sure, but that is what the detectives found. So there were clear signs of a struggle in the house, in the living room especially, in the kitchen and in the bedroom, leading up to the toilet. Blood spatter everywhere, things knocked over, the place looked ransacked. So clearly Eric and Leila fought for their lives. They fought their attackers before they were restrained and, the lives taken away. So here there's a possibility that there were multiple people involved in committing this crime. Why do I say that? Because their hands were restrained. Okay, they were bound at the back, all right? So that definitely says or tells you something. Because restraining two people, if it was one person, restraining two people is difficult. You can't restrain two people and one of them is screaming, possibly even running away. It's difficult, okay? Even if you had a weapon, it's still difficult. You can't hold the weapon while also tying both of their hands. They're going to fight you, all right? And if it's a situation between life and death, they're going to fight you. So possibly there were two or more people there that night, okay, which makes you wonder whether the visitors who came are the ones who did it, are the ones who were there, are the ones who bound them, because there were two, right? But we don't know this, and we can only just speculate, and we can't say whether they're guilty until they're proven guilty by the courts. So just a theory here, right? But definitely I'm pretty damn sure there were more people involved in this. So their case is still under investigation and no one has been arrested so far. The police are working with two possible theories, and they're saying it possibly could be a robbery because some items in the house were missing, like the TV, 2 laptops, a home theater system and 2 cell phones. So the phones are missing. They were stolen from the house and the place looked ransacked. Somebody went through everywhere as if they were looking for something. So they're saying theory 1, it could be a possible robbery. So they're saying also, so possible theory 2, it might be a business rivalry. They say that their business rivals were not happy because the couple had set up the car wash business and it was taking off. So they think that this could be a motive. They were not happy with seeing the business be that successful in a short period of time. So they were kind of jealous, but jealousy as a motive for murder is difficult. I don't know if that could be a very strong motive. Like, I've seen a lot of businesses hating on each other, but I've never seen the other one take out the other. For what purpose? I don't get it. Why would you kill someone because they're successful? It's just stupid. I mean, I don't get it. Why don't you work hard on your own? Possibly change the customer service, make your service better. Give people perks. Make yours better. Why would you kill someone because the business is being successful? Just weird. Really, really odd there. But that's another theory. So it could be a possible business rivalry. And they were young, you know, maybe someone was jealous of them because they were young, successful, they were, you know, getting money from this financier abroad, and they were living a life that could be envied by a lot of other young people, because a lot of young people don't have that much, especially at the age of 18. You're still under your parent, and if you want to have fare, you're gonna ask your mom for it. But they had all the money they needed. So it could be a possible motive, but jealousy, I just don't see it fitting here. I mean, could it really push someone that far that they actually go and kill someone because you're jealous of their success? It's strange, but possible. So those are the two possible motives as to why maybe this took place. So with this theory, the police say that the items stolen might be a cover for their true intention. So it might be that they killed them. They took the items from the house to cover up the intention of murder. So the possible motive was to attack the couple, but make it look like a robbery, so that, you know, the police wouldn't pry in a lot. And most of the robberies actually go unsolved, because how are you going to trace someone who's not in the police system? They've never been fingerprinted, so it's very difficult. Some people live, you know, along the fringes of the society, so it might be hard to track them. So, and if they rob, they might not be able to get caught that easily. And Kenyan system, we don't have a particularly unique system that has a lot of resources to pursue a robbery case. I mean, come on, the bigger fish to fry. But they're saying that possibly this could be a cover. They're trying to make it look like a robbery so that it doesn't really stir up a lot of conversations about a possible, another reason as to why they committed the murder, so that people don't talk about what they did, which was murdering this couple. So yeah, they're saying that could be a possible cover, so they're using that as a cover. So basically they're saying it was a murder but staged to be a robbery. So basically that's what the police are saying, but we don't know. So they're still investigating. Hopefully they can get some DNA. I'm hoping they can get a lot of DNA, especially from their fingers. If they fought this person, possibly the DNA could be under their fingers and on the rags that they tie them up with, possibly a murder weapon around. Maybe, I don't know. And also because the door was locked from the outside. The door was definitely locked from the outside. So maybe somebody touched their, fingers. Fingerprints could be there. So that could say something, right? So I'm hoping they get a lot of DNA and they get to catch these people. But definitely it's going to be an uphill battle, because not everyone is in the system. Our DNA is not in the system. So you might get a lot of DNA. The fingerprints possibly might be there, but if they're not in the system, it might be rather difficult to cut them. But I'm hoping that they can use it possibly to get even justice in the future. So I'm hoping they get a lot of DNA from the scene and how the scene was, and I'm hoping we can get them even in the future. It's a really intriguing case, and I'm hoping that as time goes on, possibly we can figure out what happened. I'm just hoping that this case is never forgotten, that we keep on, giving a surge of interest into the case so that it remains alive and we can get to put pressure to the police to solve this case. So I'm really hoping that we can solve this case one day, and I'm hoping that the two people who are there, if anyone knows them, so this is where you come in. If you live around a Moja area and you know this couple and possibly you saw them with those two people, please report to the police. We need answers, the family need answers, and Leila and Eric need justice. This didn't have to happen to them. I'm sorry it happened. It's evil to do this to someone just because you're jealous of them because of their business, or so selfish that you want to covet someone's property and you kill them. And what really stands out here is that I've never seen a murder I've never seen a robbery where it's murder is involved. Most robbers in Kenya really don't care about killing people. They will terrify you, definitely will terrify you, but they will never kill you. I've seen that, but they never do. We were robbed once when we were younger. They really terrified us that day, but we were left alive. Okay, so here robbers don't kill. It's an intrigue why they killed this couple. If it's a robbery, it puzzles even the mind more. Like, why would this person want to kill them? For what purpose? I mean, even if they knew their faces, even if they come up with a composite sketch of how it looks like, it's still going to be an uphill battle to cut them. If they got the things they needed, why kill this couple? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And if it's about jealousy, how evil can you get to do this to someone? How evil can you get to do this to someone? How jealous can you get? I mean, it's really awful. It's really evil, really selfish to take someone's life away just because you're jealous. I mean, come on. So I'm hoping that we can keep this case still in the media. We can keep this case ongoing so that we can find justice for Leila and Eric. And I'm hoping that the people who are there, if you know, this is where you come in, this is where everyone comes in. If you have any idea who did this, maybe somebody's bragging out there that they did this, tell someone, tell the DCI, even anonymously. Go to their offices, call their offices, submit a tip to the office, and hopefully we can get them. Submit a tip there and we can get these people. So if you know these people, if you know someone is bragging about doing this, help us catch these people. First of all, if you help get justice for Eric and Leila, you'll be removing a bad person from society, because if you leave them out there, they might be coming after you. So you might just be doing society a favor by getting them off, society. So what I can say, if you have any idea who did this, please speak out. If you know the two people who were there that night and you can identify them, please talk to the police. If you know any of Leila's friends or any of Eric's friends, please contact the police and let us keep our interest in this case so that we can keep pressure onto the police to solve this case, okay? So please try as much to help. If you've seen anyone or you know anyone who's been involved in this, kindly contact the police. Anonymously, it can help. Nobody needs to know that you went to the police. Just do it, low-key. Nobody's gonna know. Help these people, help this family. They lost such young people. They were at the prime of their life. They were beginning their lives as adults. It's really, really, really tragic. And I wish to send all my condolences to the families, to Eric's family and also Leila's family. I wish to send my sympathies to them. I know you're going through a hard time, and I'm hoping that you find strength to carry on, strength to keep on Eric and Leila's memory alive, and let us continue loving these people and celebrating their lives. 18 years, 20 years, they were here on earth with us. Let us continue celebrating their lives in whatever form and whatever way we can. And I wish to send the family my sympathies, and I wish to send them strength and courage and hope for them to carry on in their wake. I thank you all for listening today. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. I really appreciate you tuning in today. And I hope that you continue fighting for those people. We need to do what's right. So thank you all for listening today. I'll see you next time. And take care of one another. Please don't be jealous about each other. Just try to be a good person. Live your life with no stress, Just try to live a life which is free of malice. Try to help each other out. Look after each other. Take care of each other. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.